यत् सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य फलप्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं तोदिया मनस्य भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्येति. So we are reading from Bhagavatam, 5th Canto, chapter 12, verse 7. So these are instructions of Jadbharat to King Rahugana. The question which was posed was about the distinction between Vyavahara and Adhyatmika. Because Jadbharat had said that he is not the carrier of the palanquin. And the king has countered that. How can you say that? Because I see you are carrying weight on your body, the palanquin is kept on your shoulder, and you seem to be doing the labor of carrying it. So then he had replied that don't try to mix these two things. And then he said that he is unable to understand. So now he is explaining it more elaborately, and he gave the whole deconstruction of body and soul, explaining how his feet are on earth, and then on the feet there are cows, and on the knees and thighs, torso, shoulders, then palanquin. So he had asked that who is actually tired of all this? Are they all tired, or some of them tired? And if some are tired, why others are not tired? So this is what he said, and then ultimately he told him that you are unnecessarily proud of being a king when actually you are not, because you are just part of earth. So he said that everything comes from the earth and everything goes back into the earth. Yadachitau eva characharasya vidam nishtham prabhamchanitya. So everything appears and dissolves back into the earth. So what makes you think that you are the king? And he says that this distinction of somebody is king and somebody is a carrier, it is made only because of the Vyavahara, but not the ultimate. But ultimately the soul is not the king nor the servant of the king. So Vyavahara moolam nirupratam sat kriyayam neyam. So it's only inferred by the kriya that it is sat. So there is a principle in Buddhist philosophy which is very important, that something exists because there is an arth kriya character. Utility. Because the existence of something is known only if you have knowledge about it. If you don't have knowledge about it, then it does not exist. Because it has no meaning. So they say that either you have to know something or it is utilized. Like if you are thirsty and you go and take a cup of water, you quench your thirst, then you know that this is water. But if it is the water of the mirage, it cannot quench your thirst because it has no existence. So So same thing is actually saying here that Kriyanumayam Sat. That Kriya, that is utility, that which informs you that it is Sat or Asat. If it has no utility, if you cannot utilize it, then it has no existence. And everything is changing. So, and it is Anumeya. So there is also a school of Buddhist philosophy called Satyanarayana. They say that the external objects, they exist, but they are only Anumeya, they are only inferred. You don't see them. You don't make an influence. And their logic is that everything is changing every second. So when you look at something and by the time you have knowledge of that object is already changed, so you are not seeing it. But from the knowledge which you acquired, from that you make an influence on this environment. You cannot see anything. Because by the time you see that object is changed, everything is momentary. So all you do is influence. So he is also saying something similar, that it is Anumeya. And तन्नामतोऽन्यद् व्यवहारमूलं निरुक्ततां सत्क्रियानुमेयम्. So he says, therefore this is only vyavahar, it's only empirical. And then he says, evam niruktam chiti shabda vrittam asannidhanam atma paramanavu ye avidyaya manasa parikalpitaste yesam samudhana pito vishesha. It's talking quite similar to Buddhist philosophy. Says that even to call this as earth, this is also not real. Evam niruktam chiti shabda vrittam asannidhanatma paramanu. It is also not real, because according to Vaisheshika philosophy, and also modern science accepts that everything is made of atoms. Right? And atoms are imaginary. Just to give you an example, in geometry, what is called a point? What is the definition of a point? Anybody remembers their school days?
It's like a straight line. Point.
Point.
I'm thinking about a straight line.
No, don't go to straight line. Straight line is already imaginary.
Right.
What is a point? Because everything starts from a point. Even the world started from a point. Point, of course, you cannot divide, but point means which has no dimensions. This is how a point is defined. Point has no length, no breadth, no height. Right? A point is defined which has no length, no breadth, no height, no width. It has no dimensions. It has no dimensions means you cannot say that this is the east of the point and this is the west of the point, this is the top of the point and this is the bottom of the point. And this is the right of the point and this is the left of the point. You cannot say that. Why? Because it does not have any parts. It's indivisible. So actually atom or anu is exactly defined like that. In Vaisheshika philosophy, anu is indivisible, which we use the word atom, but now of course atom is many parts in it. But anyway, everything is ultimately made, because if you take any object and you break it into parts, so you go on breaking, you must reach a limit where you cannot break it. Right? So that will be the smallest part. That is called Anu. Originally they thought that atom is indivisible, so that's translated Anu as atom. So Anu is like a point, because point is that which is indivisible, it has no dimensions. So if you take a line and you go on breaking it into small half, then ultimately you should reach a point, because line is made of points. Now if point has no dimension, then how is it that line can have dimension? Line has length but no width. A line is called the shortest distance between 2 points, and it has no width but it has length. That is the shortest distance. And it is made of points, but point itself is imaginary, because there is nothing which you can think of that it has no dimension. You try to conceive of anything in your mind, it is not possible. Whenever you think of something, it must have left, right, top, bottom, up, down. So he says that the earth is made of atoms, and atoms are imaginary. And then you go on, you take 2 atoms, you make a bronic diode, then you take 3 diodes, you make 1 triode, and then you mix more and more, and then you come to the bigger one, it becomes visible. But if the cause is imaginary, how can the effect be real? Right? So therefore, all these objects which you are seeing, they are not real. Buddhist people give another similar type of logic to prove how the objects don't exist. They say that what you are seeing, either it is atomic in size or it is bigger in size. Means either it has dimensions or it does not have dimensions. Now if it has no dimensions, like an atom or a point, you cannot see it. And if it has dimensions, then also you cannot see it. Because they say that you cannot see the complete of it. You can only see one side. So whenever you are seeing, you are only seeing one side. You don't see the other side. So you never see the whole thing. So you are only imagining. And if it is made of atoms, then it will improve. So he is actually saying that avidya mansa kalpitaste. Avidya means ignorance, mansa means mind, kalpita means environment. He says these are all imagined by the mind out of ignorance. Yesam samuhena krito vishesha. He says that by samuha, by gathering, by collecting, by conglomeration of all these atoms, you have made vishesha, bigger things. But that is all just an imagination, because the starting point itself is an imagination. So, evam niruttam chiti shabda vrittam asanvidhanatma anuvo means parmanu. So he says this is all just a mixture. So this is all false, it is not real. Because the cause, the material cause, is imaginary. And all these objects are not actual. Tarhi kshite satyata syat tatra. So earlier he said everything is made of earth. He said the palanquin is made of earth, the body is made of earth, the king is made of the earth, everything is earth. So he says, well, then earth is real. At least you have to accept that. So he says, no, earth is also not real. He is completely deconstructing earth. Evam chiti sabdasya api vrittam vartanam satta namatre. So he said in this way, the existence of what you are calling as earth is only imaginary. Vacharam manovikaro mrittika eva sat. So he says this is also just a name. It's nothing. So kutah asatsu सूक्ष्मेषु परमाणुषु स्वकारणेषु निधानाद अन्वय. Because we already spoke that a whole exists in the parts, right? Yesterday we talked about it. So any object you made from the earth, atoms, paramanus, that object must exist in the atoms, and atoms themselves are not real. So where does it exist? Atoms are not real. Because if the ground on which you stand is not real, then how can you be real? ततः परमाणु व्यतिरेकेण क्षितिर नास्ति. Says except for the paramanus, the atoms, the earth does not exist. Paramanuas tarhi satyasu, says then in that case at least the paramanus, the atoms are real. So he broke down everything to earth, and then earth is also not real, and the atoms are real. He says avidya ajnanine hetuna mansate karya anupatya kalpita. He says atom no one has seen. Nobody can see it. Nobody will ever see it. They are only imagined in the mind. And how do you imagine it? Logically, that if everything, there is an object, it is made of parts. And if you break the part into smaller and smaller pieces, you must reach a limit somewhere where you cannot break it further down. Otherwise there will be a defect of infinite regress. So to avoid the defect, you assume that there must be something which is indivisible. So he said you are only imagining, because if it is indivisible, then how it gives rise to something divisible. Something which is indivisible cannot give rise to division. Right? What interval do you say?
Actually, that's just thinking it's
I
kind
try
of
to
big.
follow your point. I try to follow your point, but your point doesn't exist. So,
Yeah, point. But your point also doesn't exist.
it's a clever way to escape the question.
The whole complete Prakriti doesn't exist?
That's what it's saying. So, Kalpana Bijam Eha, so he says Vadibhir Ato Asatyaya. He says these are all just imagined by the philosophers. Therefore, the Paramanus, the atoms are asatya, non-existent. And what is the source of their imagination? Yesam samuhena vishesha prithvi sabdavachyo arthakya. So, by the samuha, by their combination, then you have something called prithvi, earth. So this is their imagination. They use the word earth for this. And avyavi no nirastatvat samuha. So earlier he said that the avyavi or the whole does not exist. So because of that he is using the word samuha now, collection. together. Alright. So he is speaking quite Buddhistic type of philosophy, used to defeat the king. एवं कृशं स्थूलमणुर्बृहद्यद् असच्च सच्च जीवमजीवमन्यत् द्रव्यस्वभावाशयकालकर्म नाम्ना जयावेहि कृतं द्वितीयम्. So now he says that all these activities, all these objects which you call as Krisham, thin, stool, thick, small, big, and Asat means Karan and Sat means Karya, cause and effect, and Jivam, Ajivam, living and inert. So he says with the combination of all this material world is made of this. And then from this you have Dravya, Swabhav, Ashaya, Kala, Karmana, Namna, Ajaya, Avehi. So these substances, we experience objects called Dravya, substance. And substances have their nature, their qualities. And Ashaya is our inner Chitta. And time and activities. So he says these are all creations of Ajaya. Ajaya means Maya, illusion. So these are all products of Maya. You should know that this whole world is made of Maya. Kritam Dvitiyam. Everything else what is experienced by you is all Maya. So evam anyadapi krashatvadi dharmakam dvitiyam daitam dravyadi namnot lakshita ajaya maya kritam avihi. So he says no, everything just as a product of Maya. Tatra krisham sukshma anurati sukshmam brihatapi sthulam asatkaram satkaram. So these are all names. So he says all this variety which you are seeing, it is not real. Because the basis is not real. So therefore the Bhagavatam says that Trisharvam Drisha. These Trisharva, three types of creation of Bhulvasva, this is Mrisha, this is false. Trisharvam Drisha. Dhamma Swayam Sanadhyastapam. Tejavari Nidam. So what is real then? Is there any reality? Because you cannot say that you are not real. I cannot say that I am not real. I also cannot say that I am unreal. So there must be some reality. So he says reality is this. Jnanam Vishuddham Paramartham Ekam. So now he digresses from the Buddhist philosophy. Up to here it matches what the Buddhist people say. But not what he is going to say now. Jnanam Vishuddham Paramartham Ekam Anantaram Tuhi Bahir Brahma Satyam Pratyak Prashantam Bhagat Shabda Sangyam Yad Vasudevam Kavayo Vadanti. So what is Satya is Jnana, consciousness. The only reality is consciousness. Jnanam Vishuddham, it is pure. And Paramartham Ekam, it is ultimate reality, it is one. and Anantaram to Bahiram, and it does not have the divisions of inside and outside. It is called Brahman, and Pratyak Prashantam, it is inner, it is inside everything, it is a Paramatma feature. Prashantam, it is free from any modifications. And Bhagavat Shabda Sangyam, and it is called Bhagavan. And Yad Vasudevam Kaviyo Vadanti, and the learned people call this as Vasudeva. So Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudeva. So the reality is only Vasudeva, Krishna. Everything else appears to be real only because of his presence. So it is because there is Vasudeva, there is reality. Without him, there is no reality. Therefore Krishna defined Maya in the Chatusloki Bhagavatam, that which appears without him, which does not appear in him, which appears outside him, that is called Maya. And which cannot appear without him, is the basis of Maya. So there is a very long commentary on this verse. I will do some parts today. Tarhi kim satyamiti chet purvoktam tattvamev shabda pramanam pramana vedyam tatcha tattvam vadanti tattvatyam jnanam. So what then is actually real? In this response he speaks this verse. He says that the tattva which was spoken earlier in the first canto, Vadanti tat vidas tattvam is jnanam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti chandati, that the knowers of the absolute truth, they say that the absolute reality is non-dual consciousness, and it is known by three names as Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. So that's what he used. This verse is actually like a mirror verse, or rather a commentary of that verse. Second chapter, first canto. I think this. So that was number 11. So that is actually the subject matter of Bhagavatam, that is the essence of the Vedic literature, that is the reality, that is the truth, that is the only thing to be understood. So Jnanam Satyam, so this consciousness is the reality, because you cannot deny consciousness. No one can deny consciousness. Your own consciousness you cannot deny that I am conscious. You can deny everything else. You can deny even God when there is no God. But you cannot deny your own consciousness. Your Jnana here means consciousness. So he says that is the Satya. And consciousness of course manifests through matter. That is material consciousness. So he says, what type of consciousness? Then he says Vishuddham, pure. Pure means Gunatitam, which means beyond the Gunas of Prakriti. And it is Parama. So Parama means this is the supreme object, Paramartham Ekam. This is the only thing to be achieved, realized. Mokshadiko yasmat tat, because even moksha etc., what to speak of dharma, artha, kama, everything comes from that only. Ekameva adityam Brahma. Brahman is one without a second, and yasmat bhutani jayam. Everything emanates from this. So, Janmadasya yataha. The Upanishad saying Bhagavatam begins like this. Ekam, it is one, it is non-dual. Anantaram abahir bhayabhyantar shunyam. And it does not have any divisions of in and out. So point also does not have divisions of in and out. Is it like a point? No, it is vyapak, it is all pervading. And because it is all pervading, you cannot say this is out and this is in. So it is everywhere. So absolute reality is existing everywhere. There is no place where it does not exist. So you don't have to go somewhere to find it. If you have to go somewhere to find it, then it must not be excellent. Very good. And तच्च ज्ञानम ब्रह्मेति परमात्मेति भगवानेति शब्दते इति उक्त्वदेव. And this is called by these three names, Brahma, Paramatma and Bhagavan. So now it speaks about that only in the rest of the words. Brahma, Brahma Shabdavachyam. So it is called by the word Brahma. And what is Brahma? Nirvikalpaka, which we were talking yesterday. So now you understand what Nirvikalpaka means. What is Nirvikalpaka? Anybody remembers?
So first, when you first perceive an object, you only perceive the class, you don't perceive the equivalent qualities. You just perceive indeterminate.
So Nirvikalpaka means indeterminate, which means that you cannot express it. It is inexpressible. It has everything in it, but you cannot express it because you don't perceive in the form of any qualities or anything like that. Because whenever you have any perception, then that perception will be qualified perception. So this is unqualified. Therefore Brahman is called formless, qualityless. Formless, qualityless, that we don't perceive it. So that is the meaning of Nirvika. And Jnani Nam Upashya. So this is worshipped by the Jnanis, those who are trying to realize the absolute without its variety, without its qualities. Most people, if you ask them about God, they say, what is God? They say, God is an energy. So the most common answer we hear. So for these people, God does not manifest qualities because they are not interested, they only want energy. Brahman is not even an energy. So people want energy because energy is useful. Right? Without energy, you are dead. So even if there is God, there is energy, some use. If he is a human being, if he is a person, then he can put you in trouble. If he is energy, you can exploit. So God is an energy for most people. But Brahman is not even like that. He is nirvikalpa. And pratyak prashantam paramatma shabdavachyam. So pratyak means subjective or inner, conscious, and it is prashanta. So that is the name of Paramatma. Paramatma Sambhavachyam. Yogi Nam Upashyam. The yogis, they worship this feature from the absolute. Prashantam iti jivatma vyavritti artham. So why he used the word Pratyak and Prashanta? Because the word Pratyak is used both for Jivatma and Paramatma. The individual living being is also Pratyak. Pratyak Atma Paschit. Paschit Kaschidana. It's some Pratyak Atma, some pure beings. And Paramatma is also Pratyak. Pratyak Prashanta. So therefore one adjective is used Prashanta, which means absolutely peaceful or beyond the guna of Prakriti. So that is to distinguish Paramatma from the Jiva, because Jiva is not like that. And Bhagavad Shabda Sangya Yasya Tat. And then he is called the third name for this reality is Bhagavan, or the Supreme Person. Bhagavan means the Supreme Absolute Person. And this is the worshipable of the devotees. The devotees worship Bhagavan. Yogis meditate on Paramatma. And the Jnanis, they pursue Brahma. These are the three types of spiritualists, basically. So yat trirupam idamapi vasudevam vasudevanandram vadanti. So all these three are ultimately Vasudeva, Krishna, son of Vasudeva. So Brahman is also Vasudeva, Paramatma is also Vasudeva. So Aham Sarvasya Shruti Samyushta. She says I am in the heart of everybody. So that is he himself as Paramatma. He is also Brahman. Brahmano hi pratistham amritasya visesha. I am the ground of Brahman. So everything is ultimately one reality. We are not two, therefore it is called Advaya Jnana. And that is Vasudeva Krishna. Purna Brahma Sanatanam. Therefore Krishna is called Purna Brahma. Aho Bhagyam Nanda Gopa Prajapsham. Yan Mitram Paramanandam Purna Brahma Sanatanam. Brahma said, look at the great fortune of the Vrajvasis here. What is that great fortune? That Yan Mitram Paramanandam Purna Brahma Sanatanam. The Purna Brahma, the eternal, absolute, blissful reality is their friend. So therefore Krishna is the Purna Brahma. Means he is the highest manifestation of the absolute reality. There is nothing higher than him. And that's what this was saying. Krishna Paramatmane iti tatastu Bhagavan Krishna adibhya. So then he is quoting all these verses to show how he is the Supreme. So in the 10th Canto is 10:636. Krishna is called Paramatma, that's why he is quoting it here. So Krishna is Brahma. The first verse he quotes to show that Krishna is the Purna Brahma, and the second verse he is quoting to show that Krishna is Paramatma. Krishna is Paramatma. And Tatastu Bhagavan Krishna, and then he is quoting another verse, Tatastu Bhagavan Krishna, Vayasya Vrajbalakai Saharama Vrajastrinam Chitrade Janan. So here the word Bhagavan is used. So he is quoting three verses to show how Krishna is Brahma, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Because in one verse he is called Purna Brahma Sanatana, in another he is called Paramatma, and in one he is called Bhagavan. So that is the meaning when he says Yad Vasudevo Kaviyam Varanti. Kavi is the learned, the scholars, the realized people, they call him as Vasudeva. So tatrapi brahmano hi pratishtham is using Bhagavad Gita. So he says Brahmano and the pratishtha and the shelter and the ground for Brahman. Vushtabhyam idam kritsnam ekam srinastita jagat. This is in the Vibhuti Yoga. This by one my potency I have entered and even entered everything. That is the Paramatma. Which Ekamsa is Paramatma. Paramatma is one ansha of Bhagavan. And Vasudeva Bhagavatam ityadibhyo. And then in the 11th canto when he is speaking about Vibhuti Yoga to Uddhava, and he speaks to Arjuna in the 10th chapter, he says that Vasudeva Bhagavatam, that means Bhagavan and the Vasudeva. So these are all proofs basically he is quoting. Vasudeva Nandana Seva Param Purna. Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, is the complete reality. So he is going to elaborate more on it. We will stop here for today. Any question on this?
Sheshika also doesn't accept external objects as real?
No, they accept.
They accept.
They have an interesting explanation. They say that the atom does not have weight form. But when you have made two atoms together, and that also does not have, but when you make three dots together, then the weight comes into existence. So how does it come into existence? They don't want to use the word achinitya. So they that the number is the weight. So this is a very peculiar idea how number can be weight or size. And that's how they solve the problem.
I don't understand why it is necessary for Bhagavad to completely deconstruct everything and take this extreme Buddhist stand to and then come to a conclusion which is in line with Vaishnava Vedanta, because it's the contrary. First you deny Babaji basically, and then you just one of Krishna's energies, and then
Well, he is doing this because he wants to show the difference between Vyavahara and Paramartha. Because king was very much attached to the Vyavahara, to the empirical reality. So he deconstructs that. So sometimes this is done to create Vairagya. So Vairagya Vivakshayartham Vacho Vibhutir Natu Paramartham. So Dev Goswami also saying that this is for the purpose of Vairagya, all these stories, Kathaimaste Kathikamahi, and all these stories of great kings I am telling you. So Vairagya Vivakshaya, to create renunciation. So it's not exactly the truth. Otherwise people are very much stuck to the empirical reality. They cannot think of anything beyond, but when the very basis is pulled off, then they start thinking. So that's what he's doing. Otherwise, if he says, well, this is also real, then he says, then I'm also right, I'm a king, and I have these duties to perform. So he will not try to understand.
so it's like a psychological strategy.
Yes.
I have a question about dreams that directly connected with this class, maybe from yesterday class. When we dream at night, we may see other living entities or friends. So, are they a projection of our mind, and in a way, are they ourselves, or are they a real identity, individual entity with a soul, on another plane, entity within?
They are just manifestation of the samskaras. And because the sleep is, dreams are in Rajaguna, so they are mixed up. The samskaras get mixed up and then we see them. It's like superimposing various types of templates, various types of sheets which may be transparent, and you put them on top of another and you make something new out of it. So like that lots of samskaras are inside and then they get mixed up. Because that is the characteristic of Rajaguna, creating variety. Sattva brings unity or oneness or uniform vision, and Rajas creates variegatedness.
Well, this is different than a near-death experience where people they go out of their body and they see a real person acting. It is not projection of their mind, because they see without, not with their material eye, but in the eye.
That is different.
It is different. It's not like in dreams.
Right.